aujourd'hui pour célébrer ce nouveau chapitre pour Clover à l'île Maurice. Là, c'est tout que je sais dire en français, donc je vais changer un peu en anglais. My name is Diego. I am a marketing manager for international markets for Clover. We're very happy to have you here today. Thank you very much for coming, for joining us. I'm going to introduce my colleague, Renier Lotter. He is country manager for our operation in Clover Mauritius, and he'll be the main speaker for today's presentations. So I'm going to hand over. Thank you again for joining.
Thanks, Diego. Good morning, everyone. Firstly, I'm going to apologize. I'm South African, so the jacket's the first thing that's got to go. I'm heating up. It's too hot for me, so please excuse. Secondly, I mentioned to the crowd this side now, I'm used to people being vocal, being loud, so please relax. I feel tense with you guys being tense, so relax, comfortable. It's going to be very interactive, very social, very relaxed presentation of Clover. I think that portrays us as a company as well. Not a formal structured business, structured, but not a formal strict business. We're very laid back, we're open to changes, we're open to listening to you as our partners for change, for things that work differently. And I think that's one of our successes in expanding our business into the different countries we've been to. We can't have one set of rules and try and implement. I think that is what Clover's successes has been, that we are willing to change, we are willing to adjust to local environments. So before we start, the jacket, sorry, excuse me for this one. Something I think that's very important on the Clover range for you guys to taste, try the products, hand it around, move it around, see it, look it, feel it, and experience the product. I think that's very important for you guys. And a lot of our business would also develop around sampling in store to get our consumers to try the products as well. Okay, from my side, what I'll do is I'll just take you through Clover. What is Clover? Who is Clover? How does our business fit together? And then also, how does it end up in Mauritius? Why? What is our plans for Mauritius? And then we've got Diego, my colleague, will take you guys through the fluffy stuff on the marketing side and pictures. That's what marketers does, a lot of pictures and nice things that they will show you guys. I want to start with a quick video of Clover. I think it's the best way for you guys to see what we as Clover do, and then we'll talk through a bit. Might be some duplication of things, but I think the visual is always nicer to have a clear understanding of our business.
Clover is the leading branded foods and beverages group in Southern Africa, with strategic pillars and competitive strengths that drive the business towards growing a sustainable branded consumer goods giant. We strive to provide customers with nutritional food and beverage products of the highest quality. We have diversified our product offering by producing a variety of upcoming brands with growing market share. Our roots are firmly established in the South African dairy industry. A small cooperative called Natal Creamery started making waves by taking over the Johannesburg Milk Supply Company, and by 1932, Natal Creamery was operating from 32 centers countrywide. On this enterprising foundation, the Clover name and associated brand was established, and we've been growing stronger ever since. In 2003, the decision was made to shift from a cooperative to a public company. And several acquisitions and joint ventures followed. After listing on the main board of the JSE, we decided to grow the brand and the company even more by establishing trusted new partnerships and buying out minorities aimed at increasing market share. We've been working towards an improved future and greater expansion of the Clover brand. We are packaging certain dairy and other niche products for Woolworths, and we've broken into the carbonated soft drink market. Expanding into the soy-based products market gives us a greater link to the international export market. Clover produces many different products, from milk and flavored milk to a wide variety of cheeses, butter, custard, creams, mass, yogurt and desserts. We also produce a range of beverages including 100% fruit juices, fruit juice blends, water, iced teas, carbonated soft drinks and functional drinks. And we recently expanded into the soy-based product market. We ensure that only the correct amount of raw products is sourced from quality suppliers and loyal producers to full consumer demand, procuring 600 million litres of raw milk annually from approximately 200 different suppliers. Our range of products is produced at one of our many fully owned production facilities, all of which are ISO 9001 and HACCP certified. From farm to shelf, our products go through our standard 55-point safety check and testing procedures. The recently completed Project Cielo Blue addressed historical inefficiencies within our supply chain and increased production capacity and long-term profitability. This strategic relocation of key factories and warehouses reduced cost, streamlined logistics, and standardized and optimized key operational business aspects. Due to the short shelf life of most of our products, our high rotation system, supported by an improved distribution chain, means that the implemented infrastructure is the perfect base from which to operate and expand on. With this in mind, we have carefully interwoven business units and will never split the business. We've established partnerships with Fonterra, Nestle, Future Life, Frankie's and Good Hope, and provide a variety of services to a number of principal business partners, from warehousing, manufacturing, sales and merchandising, to distribution services. With one of the best outbound call centers in South Africa, we ensure that our extensive network of permanent merchandisers can provide service to all retail and wholesale outlets. Daily dispatching to more than 14,000 delivery points throughout South Africa using more than 750 trucks. Our aim is to be a greater responsible corporate entity. Implementing the latest technologies resulted in almost 3,000 litres of reduced water consumption per kilogram of product produced, 230 kilowatt per hour less electricity used, and a 61,000 ton reduced CO2 emissions carbon footprint. Responsible environmental excellence makes us way better than our peers. At Clover, we believe that doing good is good business, and our flagship CSI project, Clover Mama Africa, achieves immeasurable results and has won numerous awards. Investment in people and societies is the key to a sustainable future. Our recent undertaking, Project Driven, aims at placing the right intellectual capital in each critical position. We focus on skills development training in all aspects of the Clover business, cultivating loyalty and trust between colleagues to ensure business continuity on a personal level. This is why Deloitte ranks us in the top 3 best companies to work for. And recently, we won the Reputation Institute study of the most reputable company in South Africa. Following a top-down mentoring structure, we transfer knowledge to each department. Our participative management style encourages the sharing of ideas, resulting in executives and top-line managers having the freedom to make decisions that make Clover an attractive investment vehicle of choice. Under the guidance of our dynamic and forward-thinking senior management team, Clover is driven by exceptional performance and is now ready and tailored towards future expansion. Clover has strong exportable skills and a solid foundation in all facets of the business. In Africa, future strategies would be to co-invest in well-established companies to collectively help them grow by injecting the required resources into their businesses and brands, and so secure a leading position in the respective markets. Clover, geared towards future success and hungry for more.
I think that gave you a brief overview of Clover in a nutshell, what we are, what we stand for, and where we want to go with our business. I think what this is going to be the next couple of slides is probably a bit of repetition, but we can go into a bit more depth on it. As we mentioned in the video, Clover is a branded consumer goods company. That's what with a dedicated focus on brands, obviously being the core, but also looking at beverages. The beverage category is quite big. In Southern Africa, we are one of the biggest distributors in Southern Africa, and then obviously looking at perishable or refrigerated distributors, we are the biggest in Southern Africa. With milk being a crucial part of our business, it gives us that regular distribution, gives us that, what's the right word we've got in there, critical mass is what I'm looking for specifically. That's what we get from our milk, so we've got frequent deliveries. I think that is core to our business. Working with a perishable line, working with short-dated lines, we want frequent, high distribution throughout our business segments. Yeah, again, I'm not going to go through too much detail about it. Clover is, give or take, 130 years old. It started as a national cooperative dairy, so it was basically the farmers starting the business to get rid of the milk that they had. Slowly and over the years, we expanded our business. We had joint ventures with great companies. I think Danone, you can mention there, definitely everyone should know Danone. Worldwide, one of the, if not the biggest dairy company worldwide, and a lot of expertise that we shared from these guys. And then we slowly started moving away from being driven by the farmers and the milk and procuring milk. We started saying we need to be demand driven. That's where we want to go. The consumer is what we want to focus on. And I think from that point onwards, if you look at 2010, yes, we got geared, we got listed on the JSE, Johannesburg Stock Exchange, but also then at that same time, we looked at expanding our business into not just dairy, but also looking specifically on the beverage side, acquiring a lot of new extra businesses, focused on, so we've got the joint venture with Nestle, we've acquired cheese, we've acquired Dairy Bell yogurt, so we expanded our business portfolio, and currently till today, we are looking for opportunities consistently expanding. We moved away from being a pure dairy company into more of a food company, and that's where we want to position ourselves, that's where we want to drive the business towards. Recently we sold, or we delisted from the JSE and we sold to independent buyers, so Clover is no longer listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. We are Milko, a company with head office in Mauritius as well. We're part of their brand of businesses as well since 2019. Okay, Clover's vision. It's basically a simple thing, I don't have to read from it, but we want to be a leading branded foods company. That's what we strive to be, with good quality products, and we want to supply our markets with a healthy, good quality product. That's where we want to go. I think the mission of the company again is we want to have the brands, the good quality products that we want to disperse to our range of customers, and numeric distribution key in that side, make sure that we disperse the products to these people on a regular, daily basis to get to our customers. So we want to reach our customers with our specific brands. This just gives an oversight of the production. In the video we mentioned that Clover recently moved around, so historically we had a lot of plants. As we procured, you've got a lot of plants scattered across South Africa. Over the last couple of years we sort of narrowed it down. We're working still on that to probably have about 4 main plants scattered across South Africa, and that would be based where our raw materials, our milk, juices, where we get those. So our biggest plant at this stage is in Queensburg, which is in Durban, South Africa. It's a modern state-of-the-art facility. If any of you guys ever get the opportunity to go to South Africa, please, we can arrange visits for you guys. It is something to experience. It is a stunning plant, state-of-the-art. Yeah, it's just something you have to see, you have to experience. So we're moving around a lot of our facilities to simplify, streamline, and as I mentioned, probably by end of 23, we would only have the 4 main plants within South Africa's borders. On our distribution, or as Clover as a whole, it's a very busy slide. What we're basically saying, Clover is has a presence in all segments of the business, from procurement, moving into your distribution side, your production side, and obviously ending up with your distribution. So we do everything in-house. We procure, we get our milk procurement. It's part of our own business. We've got our own procurement department looking at your raws and your packs. On the production facilities, we mentioned the production facilities we've got scattered across South Africa, and our principal partners, the likes of Enterprise Escort. We used to have Unilever, the margarine side was part of the business portfolio there as well. Danone, that we do their distribution, sales, warehousing for those principal partners in our business as well. And that's again because of our distribution reach, the frequency of our distribution network. We can service and take these guys into our business as well. Primary distribution, that is our legs moving from factory to our secondary distribution legs, and then obviously taking it into customer, where we service it with our own sales team, own merchandising, and we've got our own internal marketing team driving everything top down to ensure that we've got the same message communicated to the business. One of our big pillars in Clover as a whole is to expand our business, not only in South Africa, but into Southern Africa. Currently, we are available in 14 Southern African countries that we have our products on a consistent base. And again, part of our strategy is not to dump stock into a country, in other words, sell it via wholesalers and leave it there. We want to be part of it. We want to own the distribution. We want to own or be part of the distribution network and also own the marketing in those countries. So those countries that we mentioned there is where we physically got, similar to Mauritius, a distribution partner assisting us, or either doing it ourselves with our own teams in those countries. And I think basically filling onto that, our pillars on the export side or in our international side of the business is quite clear. We want to expand into African countries. So that's quite key. We need to expand our business, but we do it strategically. We're not going to go and say, well, we need to be in another 10 countries by the end of the month. No, we want to look at where does our products fit into their business and their countries, what products can we export, where's the market, and then we go in strategically, we go into those. When we go in, it's also not with only a specific product. Historically, in Mauritius, we were here for a very long time, 30 plus years, with specific butter only. And we slowly started expanding and growing the market. That's what we want to do. We want to take the Clover brands, the Clover basket, into the countries that we go through. Then filling onto that would be your numeric distribution. For us, it's nice to be, and you have to be in the modern trade. That's where people experience your product, where they become familiar with your product. But secondly to that is you need to get to the local community, the local people, and that would be your traditional trade. So in our business, that's core part of our business to develop it. And with our partners that we've got as well, being Panagora and TNS Consumer, that is crucial for us to not only supply the modern trade or the easy low-hanging fruit. We need to get to the lower stores. Make sure that if you walk to your corner shop, that's where you're going to find a Clover product. And that's our aim, that's what we drive towards. And I think lastly, it's the sustainability. It's a long-term partnership. We're not here for the short term, we're not here just to make a quick buck and then skip the country. As I said, we invest quite heavily. We want brand, we want product, we want people to recognize and feel that Clover is as Mauritius as it is South African. We want the Mauritian public to see it as one of their own products. I touched quickly on saying the butter. We've been in Mauritius, available in Mauritius for the last 30 plus years. We've had a long-standing relationship with Panagora team. Thank you for that. We've had a long-standing good relationship with them. Over the last couple of years, we started looking at expanding our business model, expanding our product basket into Mauritius. And Panagora has been doing opposition products to Clover for some time, and I think that's the main reason why we had to acquire a secondary partner because of contractual obligations where they're not allowed to take in another player, similar opposition parties. So it's not a bad relationship. I think we've got a very good working relationship with the team. It is purely on legal-wise that we couldn't expand our basket of products into their business. Then that brings us basically to why we are here today. We found a new partner that is capable and willing, and it's very like-minded to Clover's own thinking and their business approach. The TNS Consumer team, see that's scattered all over here. Again, I think it's a nice fitting partnership for us as well. They're very eager to grow. They're very eager to listen from our side what works for us in other countries, and then advising what can work in Mauritius. So it's a nice joint venture, nice partnership that we've tied up with them, and I think we're looking forward to some great successes. Distribution-wise, friendship-wise, partnership-wise, I think that is something that we can build on for our Mauritius business. I think that's where we are now, the official launch of Clover Mauritius. It's not, we've been in the country For a very long time, since 2019, we started expanding some of our range via Panagora, and now we're seeing if we can get the bigger side of our basket available in Mauritius as well. So basically our timeline for the next year and a bit. So obviously September we're doing our official launch. The guys have been busy with listings, getting product in country that we've got now. Then we're looking over the next 3 months for the remainder of the year. Local investment. I'm sure you guys have probably seen some branding going up. We've got billboards. Diego, sorry, I'm not stealing your thunder here. But there's some, from a marketing point of view, a lot of visibility that we invested in. We're investing in people as well. We're investing in sampling. So there's a lot of investment coming from our side into Mauritius, into the business, to ensure that it's a success, people understand and people know and get to love our products as well. Going forward, 2023, we're not leaving it there saying it's a short-term investment, it's going to be a long-term investment. We know people have got to become used to our products. It's not something we're just going to, again, as I mentioned, knock it and drop it in here. We need to continue investing throughout. And that's part of our long-term investment into 2023. And then going forward, again, you saw on our African countries, we look at expanding our business, we look at investing in not only bringing in product, but looking at co-packing, producing in country. And that is our main goal, is being able to produce within the country. Make it more affordable, and if it comes to a point where we can export to different the islands across here, and maybe even take it, depending on what we can produce here, we can export it to different countries as well. So that is our big plan for Clover Mauritius. So how the business works, it's a unique country in the sense it's the only country that we've got 2 distribution partners. So just to explain, and without confusing anyone on it, how are we going to plan on working our business within Mauritius? So production will happen in our plants in South Africa until such time as there is local production. But for now, let's keep it simple. Production happens in South Africa. Clover will be responsible to export and get the product into country, where we will deliver the products into our 2 distribution partners, being Panagora and TNS Consumer. They will be our partners distributing to you guys, to the lower LSM groups, to the Tabaji type outlets, make sure that the distribution happens. But they will also, from their teams, work on the strategy with regards to our execution, sales execution. It will be local teams. Execution we would assist and drive from, but it will be a local-based sales team. They know the business, they know the market, they understand the market, the consumer, and we're going to drive it through their business. From a marketing point of view, marketing would take place from South Africa with support and input from the local businesses. Obviously, we don't know everything that we need to know to securely set up market, but it would sit with our marketing team in South Africa. We own the brands, we're going to drive and communicate the brands as we do with our normal business as well. I think this is a very simple chart just to explain what products will stay with which principal or which distributor partner. So I think simply wise, it's Panagora has historically been with the butter and the margarine. Recently, as of 2019, they've taken on olive oil, extended the basket slightly. So that's the basket that's going to stay with Panagora. I think to justify, to simplify it, it is the oil-based products will remain with the Panagora business. Status quo, nothing changes on the way they do their normal business, how they place their orders, how the customers will receive their stock. It will stay with Panagora. Then on the TNS side of the basket, we're going to look at our UHT, our fresh milk, we're looking at UHT and fresh juices, we're looking at yogurts, cheeses. As we expand our product market, those are the lines that will sit with our TNS consumer portion of the business. Again, that would stay within their way of ordering, their teams would fall on those lines, and we'll make sure that delivery as well comes from that side. So I think in a nutshell, that explains Clover Mauritius. Very short and sweet. I don't know if there's any concerns, questions. I think it is very self-explanatory the way we put it through there. Okay, I think then, Diego, I'll pass on to Diego. So he's got the nice and fluffy, furry marketing things. Always got some nice pictures in there for marketing. Thank you very much for your time, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Okay, thanks everybody. Looking at the schedule, I think even though we started out late, we're still going to be slightly on time. I'm not going to take too long to go through these slides. I don't think we're doing anything here that is reinventing the wheel from the point of view of marketing, right? I think the news here is that we are bringing things we've never done in the past, new activities, more ways to support our brand, support our presence, and our new partners. And basically that's what I want to share with you today. Just skipping straight into strategy, I think 3 main pillars, 3 points or objectives rather that we have as brands. So number 1 is to leverage the existing awareness that we have of the Erica brand. So a lot of people are already familiar with Erica brand, already use it on a daily basis, butter and so on. So how do we link that to the rest of our products so that they can recognize the Clover brand behind it? Secondly, positioning the Clover brand as a family choice. So that's one of our key marketing values in every single country, every single marketing campaign that we take on. And thirdly, to be able to communicate our full Clover basket. Right? So that's very important because it's showing that we have a product for everyone, a product for every need, a product for different moments. Quick overview of our marketing calendar. Still looking at this year and how we're going to support our launch campaign. Right? I'm not going to go into details here, but you can see the general idea is the waves will be focused intensively up till the end of the year. A couple of waves throughout some of the activities, in and out, in and out. We're going to have both ATL, above the line and below the line communication to support this launch period specifically. And again, building on what Renita said, we're not here for the short term, we're here for the long term. So we do have plans to continue that throughout 2023, next year, in a frequent and regular way. So it's not a one-shot campaign. Okay. And as you can see, the investments escalate over time as well. It's something we build out slowly, but develop it over time. Okay. One of the main activities we're going to start to do into Mauritius and working with a local agency is to develop our social media page. We've seen that's a strong communication channel in Mauritius, something we haven't tried here in the past. But of course, taking cue from our partners and obviously from the market here, we decided this is going to be relevant for us, favorable. So we'll be launching a campaign. In fact, you guys can already support us by starting to follow these pages and Clover Maurice on Facebook and Instagram. That means we're going to bring a whole bunch of news, communication around the products, recipes, and so on. A lot of videos from our activations. We do a lot of some examples I have here from our South African and Mozambique pages. We generally have a lot of presence in each of these countries. So you see here some of the CSR, or corporate social responsibility activities we do. We also tend to share them on social media. Then fleet branding, I think that's generally standard for us. I think you would have seen from the video we showed right at the beginning some branded Clover trucks. The idea is also to have the same kind of presence here. Have essentially turn our delivery trucks into walking, roaming billboards for us. You can see communication is pretty much standard, always communicating our Clover brand. We focus on the Clover product basket, and we use the hero product being Erica butter, which is easily recognizable. We've also done branding on trucks throughout the island, so that's going to be something to support more. Especially in this period of launching, to really gain more visibility, raise awareness for our brand. Out of home, that's another pillar to it, another type of activity we're doing on the ATL side. And then moving to BTL side, again, nothing new. All you guys will know these types of activities, some of which we've done, let's say, in smaller, less frequent ways in the past. The idea here is to show how much more you can expect, let's say, and show some of the good examples that I believe are already executed in other countries, and that can be replicated to Mauritius as well. So of course, with trade support from placement, secondary placements and positioning, allocations and so on, a lot of store activations to support sampling, support our merchandising and positioning in stores, and then yeah, there's more secondary placements. I think execution is going to be very important for us. You see, we have generally dedicated teams of merchandisers who are responsible for not only stock keeping, but positioning of our products, which we believe is very important because that's another touch point to the consumer. And building again on what Renier said, we are a company that cares about the way we get to our consumer, right? So all the way from route to market to the way that we're communicating at every single touch point. Okay, and shop branding is something that we've done in a few other countries, especially more towards, let's say, Tabaji type of stores. We do a lot of this throughout the countries that we're already present in. It's building relationships, building visibility. Something that has worked for us in the past, something we'd like to also venture into in Mauritius. So we have a plan to start doing that probably from later on, still in 2023. I wouldn't count that for this year. Like I said, we start building out the different let's say elements that we have, and over time we'll get to our full marketing mix, I can call it that. Then I want to show you a little bit of what we do in terms of sustainability. So I think we have these seven main goals, with the drive being to reduce our carbon emissions, reduce our plastic usage, and increase especially the use of renewable materials, renewable packaging. In fact, we try to reduce our electricity and water usage in our factories. That's something that's we have some very good examples, I think. Since 2016, if I'm not mistaken, over 60% reductions in some cases in some of our facilities. So some success stories that we've had. It's been a real mission for us internally. And then a very clear example of that, which I find very interesting, are the newest Tetra Pak of UHT milk, right, which we've partnered with Tetra Pak in order to be able to implement. Is able to reduce up to 70% of the use of, up to 10% use of plastic, and using up to 70% of renewable materials, packaging material. And that's just one of our lines. Most of our other lines follow the same trend. Then, quick overview of our products. So we've already mentioned several times, you guys are probably tired of it, where we care about our Clover basket, and what we're trying to do is expand our range. So quickly showing how we're present in much more categories than we are today in Mauritius. And again, is to slowly but surely build these out so we ensure we have all of these, right? Obviously, we're starting out with 3, 4 today. We're going to double that to 6, tomorrow, let's say. But in a week's time, we can have another 10. So the idea is by 2023, we're able to implement our full product range. And overall, within the company, we actually are present in 30 categories or so. So it's actually still a long way for us to go. But that's the interesting part, right? The journey. So Erica, you guys are all, I think, familiar with. Just to quickly showcase one of our main products, some of the updated designs, upcoming changes. We have salted and unsalted. Both of them served in 200 grams. So I think that's pretty much self-explanatory. Some of our newer lines that you won't be familiar with yet are UHT milk, right? Which is, we bet on the fact that it's one of the highest quality milk that you can get. In fact, we developed a seal of quality, which is the Triple Protect, which ensures 3 ways that all our product ensures quality, going through several quality tests, the ultra high temperature process, packing in aseptic conditions, and so on. And obviously, it's made from pure cow's milk, which is a big advantage as well. Convenient pack and easy to pour. And then, secondly, the newer addition to our range is our milk powder called Numa, and this will be available in affordable sizes from a 10-gram individual single-use sachet to a 400 gram pack. Again, made from cow's milk and enriched with vitamins, which we believe will be also an advantage to other offerings. Looking at our juices, we have two different types, which we plan to bring in the short term, although we have more types of juices, but the two main ones being on the left-hand side, you'll see Tropica, which is a dairy fruit mix. Essentially, that means it's juice combined with milk, which is a unique product, unique kind of taste profile. And it comes in four very refreshing flavors. We also have this product available in fresh. I think our main target is going to be bringing in the UHT, at least in the immediate stage. And the second product there, right-hand side, you can see our crush. That's our 100% fruit juice, which means it's made from fruit juice with no additives, no sugar added, and no preservatives. Also a UHT product, also a source of vitamins. And then we have a handful of others. I'm not going to go into every single one. Just wanted to quickly highlight margarines, dairy products like yogurts and cheeses, and cheese especially in slices, which are some of the products we believe are a good fit for the Mauritian market to begin with. Then I want to show you an example. I did put, if you guys will recall from the calendar of activities I shared with you, the idea that we're building out our marketing mix over time, right? And so towards the future, we would like to be able to do more and develop some things, some communication specific to Mauritius. Here I wanted to show an example of what we've done for Mozambique a couple of years back, always taking advantage of kind of local language, local culture. How do we communicate closer to the local consumer, right? And I think this is a good example of that. We'll take it through TVC, just 30 seconds long.
Cuida da família, dia e de noite, dá-lhe o melhor. Ela põe na mesa tudo com sabor, tudo que faz bem, tudo do melhor. Porque Clover faz bem, Clover gostou, Clover tudo do melhor.
Clover, sabor e nutrição para toda a família.
So the gist of it, what I want to share here is, again, that using, obviously this is all produced, in Mozambique with a local team, with local actors and so on, because we wanted to have that local feel. And as you can see, it communicates all of our pillars, right? Essentially the full range of products. That's very important to us. Like we keep on repeating, and our values of family. So as you can see, it's all about how Clover interacts with family in different moments throughout the day, different products that are able to do that. Another example that I thought was interesting to share with you today is Tropic Island: The Treasure, which is a reality TV show that takes place generally in an exotic island, if I can call it that. It's taking place over past 10 years already. It's on the 10th season now. And interestingly enough, it's been filmed in Mauritius twice in the past. That was 2008 and 2016. So that's just a fun fact. I'm not sure, I probably wouldn't be too aware of that here. It's something that's just been aired exclusively in South Africa in the past. This year, we're actually opening it up to 6 other countries to be broadcast in Southern Africa. And we're looking to the future to add more countries and start looking for more, let's say, integration, if I can call it that, with our presence in many of these countries. So possibly could look to come back to Mauritius. That's something interesting, something we keep in cards. I'm going to show you a quick teaser of what the show is like. I think it's very entertaining. Actually, you can catch it online if you're interested. It'll be on social media.
Tropica Island of Treasure has taken South Africa on a smooth wave of taste and entertainment since 2008 and is now back for an exhilarating 10th season celebration. In 2020, Season 9 was the highest viewed reality show on SABC3 and delivered on an 8% volume growth in Phase 1 and over 82% market share achieved. With the launch of Season 10, it gets smoother.
Okay, guys, and that was it for me. Thank you very much.